Tim Ferriss say this once, and I think it's exactly right. He said, everybody believes that the best startup founders in Silicon Valley are very, very risk tolerant. That is, they're willing to take a lot of big risks. He said, it's not risk tolerance, it's that we're better at assessing risks. And it's not often because I'm smarter about assessing risk, it's because I'm equivocal about it. I will look at risks from a slightly more logical standpoint. I have done a lot of personal development work, a lot of self-development work to get to that point. In order to assess those risks well, it's not just being smart about it, it's not having the right input, but it's about being in a position where you can step back, remove yourself, remove any fear that you have, remove any sort of childhood traumas or anything that might come up when you think about those risks, and actually look at the risk and say, what's the likelihood of this happening? What's the worst outcome if this happens? What is it even possible to do? Because sometimes when we look at risk, it might be a major risk, but the cost of preventing that risk might be just way too high. You might have a 1% risk of failure, but the cost of it might be 50% of your revenue to prevent that risk. And so if that's the case, you're probably not going to try to prevent that risk, and you just take that risk on, knowing in the background that you have that 1% of failure. So that's how I think about risk, and I really do think it's about being equivocal in situations, being able to step back and assess risk in a more objective manner.